10 weeks down, and now only 1 week is guaranteed from here on out. Throw all the records out the window because it's time for playoff football in Oklahoma as the first round of the playoffs are upon us. Our spotlight game today is the Antlers of Deer Creek and the Millers of Yukon, both finishing in the middle of their respective districts, but this is going to provide a matchup with tons of offense and some bruising defense and two head coaches who have established an excellent culture. And we welcome you to a post-season edition of the Metro Ford of OKC pregame show alongside Connor Pasby. I'm Grayson Singleton. 10 weeks are in the books, and the regular season has concluded. It's time for the playoffs. And Connor, just talking about this game in particular, a Deer Creek team who had a lot of turnover over a year ago, a Yukon team who is having its best season in a while. It only makes it right that this is our spotlight game for this postseason week one.
For sure. You're right on point, Grayson. It's been really fun to watch this Yukon team just get so much better from a year ago. And that's just the work that Brett Barnes has done with this squad. And they got some dudes on offense. They got a rushing attack that is really hard to stop. This offense can put up some points, and Deer Creek can put up some points too. So it's one of those games that's going to be a shootout, and it's going to come down to which defense can get some stops late in the game. It's going to be a very fun first-round matchup at Deer Creek.
Yeah, and Yukon both teams finished out their regular seasons with losses. Deer Creek had the barn burner at Mustang, where they scored 45 points, but let up 59. So this game does shape out to be a pretty high-scoring affair, and both teams have been involved in high-scoring affairs this season as well.
Well, when you talk about the playmakers, I mean, one side for Deer Creek, Gage Gibbons, we've seen him do so much for this offense. And Yukon running the football with Wyatt Jones at quarterback, Prince Shelburne, Destry Lujan, they've been very difficult to stop. I mean, it's been a pound game for sure. And what they did against Norman North, you go back to that game where they just chewed out the rest of the clock. I mean, that just shows what they could do up front behind that big offensive line and the guys that they have at running back.
Yeah, and the winner of this game, by the way, will take on Owasso, District 2's number 1 seed in the second round of the postseason. But you're going to hear more about this game as we go on in the show. You will also hear from a bunch of other faces because we're going to have the commentators from each of our KREFsports.tv games preview the games for us. So you won't see us go through all the games. It will be them today, a special postseason edition of the Metro Ford of OKC pregame show. But first, let's go ahead and start out with one of our player interviews as Gage Gibbons sat down with our own Blake Gamble to talk about the evolution of this Deer Creek offense, where they started with a new offensive coordinator to how they are playing now. So take a listen. Blake and Gage, take it away.
Thank you for being here. First off, tell us a little bit, how's this season going? The Antlers, you guys are hosting a first-round game, a team that lost a lot last year, a huge graduating senior class, last year's team, and yet still here you are hosting a first-round game.
Yep, it's amazing. The team, we've worked so hard over these last few weeks, and it really shows with our offense. We're really starting to get a thing going and chemistry building. Dax, he's mentally getting more mature. He's reading the field. He's finding his key players, me and Jalen, making plays, and you've seen results, and now we're here in playoffs, and we're going to beat Yukon.
You mentioned Dax, a young sophomore quarterback, and a first year in a new offensive system as well. Did it take a little bit of time to figure that out? I know it's a bit of a complex scheme, right, coming over from Bixby High School?
Yes, took us a few weeks to really get something going, as you saw. But it's been really good now since we all, as receivers and a team, finally know what we're doing. And it's the offense, it's really effective when we get going. And don't let the Antlers get hot, get someone.
I love that. Don't let the Antlers get hot. And so Friday night, you guys are hosting the Yukon Millers. They've had a really great season as well. They come in 5-5 overall record. Records are something that, you know, it's hard to really read a team. You know that very well. It's the Deer Creek Antlers in 6A-I. It's an SEC schedule. Everyone's better than their record really shows. What's it going to take Friday night, Gage, for Deer Creek to come away with a win and advance to the next round?
It's going to take everyone doing their jobs correct. It's going to take everyone giving 100%. It's because this could be our last week, but it's not. Everyone's got to play like we know what we're doing. We are a team that once we're together, we're unbeatable.
Just do your job, take care of your business, but you need to do that job to advance. I'm sure that's something you've heard from Coach Wade Stanley all week long, all season long, probably. Gage, thank you so much. Best of luck Friday night. We're looking forward to seeing you Friday, but also next season as well. And track season comes spring. You're a lot of fun to watch. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back with more here on the Metro Ford of OKC Game of the Week pregame show.
Metro Ford of OKC.
Hey Oklahoma, Dusty Dvorak here at Metro Ford of OKC. When it comes to power, strength, and reliability on the line or on the road, these custom-built Fords don't flinch.
Who really loves you, Oklahoma? Drive home in a new 2025 F-150 for 5.9% APR for 84 months.
Built tough and loaded with torque. That's a win in any playbook.
With insurance premiums on the rise, business owners and homeowners are looking for relief. Insurica is one of America's largest insurance brokers, and Insurica is here to help. Insurica's exclusive process, RM4U, partners with businesses and homeowners to reduce the total cost of risk. The goal is to put more of your insurance dollars back into your pocket. Learn more about our process at Insurica.com. Insurica, specializing in you.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
After a car crash, life can be hard. You're hurt, stressed, and then, when you need help the most, the insurance company doesn't care.
They drag their feet, question your injuries, and make things difficult. They put profits over people.
At McIntyre Law, we level the playing field. We take on the billion-dollar insurance companies so you can focus on what matters, getting your life back. Call us at 405-777-7000. You deserve better.
Welcome back to the Metro Ford of OKC pregame show as we get you ready for postseason action in the first round of the 2025 playoffs. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different here because Deer Creek and UConn have some similarities here that we want to point out. Both have two offensive stars that have exceeded expectations and have put up a lot of really good numbers. So it's our teammate segment here as you see the guys' numbers on the screen. Jalen Davis and Gage Gibbons, both with over 600 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns for Gage Gibbons and 4 for Jalen Davis. Now on the UConn side of things, it's a running back receiver combo. Prince Shelburne just south of 1,000 yards on the year and 7 rushing touchdowns and 677 receiving yards for Daniel Yebbett, a guy who you will see playing on Saturdays at the next level. 6 touchdowns for him as well. So when you look at those pair of teammates, Connor, what stands out to you about those?
Well, I'm going to start with Deer Creek with Gibbons and Davis. I mean, for opposing teams, those are the two guys that you circle every single week with this Deer Creek offense. They can hurt you. A lot of big plays, a lot of chunk plays with Gibbons and Davis, and they just find ways they make guys miss, and they're very difficult to tackle once they get to the second level, once they get into open space. So that's what stands out with them too. Shelburne and Yebbett, both of them extremely athletic. We got to talk to Shelburne early on in the season just to development that he has in his sophomore season. He is a young running back and all over 1,000 yards rushing. Yebit, I mean, a talented corner, wide receiver as well, can go up and get the football. So extremely athletic playmakers for the UConn Millers and the Deer Creek Antlers.
Yeah, it certainly is going to set up for a huge matchup and a huge matching of wits when it comes to calling offenses. By the way, Gage Gibbons also a track star, 100-meter state champion last season. All right, time for players to watch on our pregame show as we continue. And I'm going to start it off with Nash Henry, the quarterback for Norman North, who had an excellent bounce-back game against Edmond Santa Fe to end the regular season. Norman North's going to have to score a ton of points to keep up with Mustang in the first round. So it starts with the quarterback. Can he go toe-to-toe with Florida State commit Jaden O'Neal? We shall see. But decision-making and ball placement is going to be imperative. Gage Gibbons is your choice. Connor Pasby, take it away.
Gage Gibbons, you just mentioned that he runs track. Well, no surprise, because speed is what you get with Gage Gibbons. And we talk about guys that are tough to tackle. Well, one of those is Gage Gibbons. I mean, so many plays on the outside. They constantly get him the football, and a reason why is because he makes things happen when the ball is in his hands. And Gage Gibbons, no surprise, he's had an excellent season for Deer Creek, and expect him to make some plays on Friday night.
Isaiah Roberson is my second player to watch for Edmond North, and if the Huskies are going to pull off the upset and knock off Edmond Memorial, it'll be through this guy because he had over 100 rushing yards and a touchdown in their first meeting in the EdLib regular season. So in the sequel, I think he's going to have another big game, and that would set the tone for the Edmond North offense to be able to keep up and maybe pull off an upset in the first round of the postseason. Time to preview the rest of the games on our KREF Sports.TV slate. And before we go any further, no, it's not going to be Connor and I that tell you about them. Well, you'll see me in a second. But Caleb Shaw, Josh Helmer, Andrew Himes, Ryan Rollins, and myself for the Norman North game are going to give you a preview of what you can expect to see on the remaining games on the KREF Sports.TV slate. Guys, take it away.
Edmond North traveling over to Edmond Memorial. Rematch of earlier this season, a game that Edmond Memorial won in Edlam over Edmond North. The Edmond North Huskies feel like if they can, it's playoff cliches, but if they can take care of the football, win that turnover battle, that they've got a chance to hang around, maybe win this game versus Edmond Memorial spring an upset. Edmond North earlier this season nearly had a strip sack fumble touchdown in the game versus Edmond Memorial. It was ruled as an incomplete pass, and then later on in the contest, as Edmond North was trying to draw a little bit closer, they had a big mistake on a kickoff where they just didn't go recover the football. It turned into basically a long onside kick for Edmond Memorial that the Bulldogs pounced on, and that was a big turning point in that football game. So for Edmond North, the emphasis really is take care of the football, go win the turnover battle, and they think they have a chance to spring one of the first-round upsets in Edlam. Going to be fun.
The Tigers have stumbled a bit down the stretch, dropping their last 3 games to finish 6-4 overall and 3-4 in District 1. There have been some bright spots. Anthony Johnson has eclipsed 1,000 yards rushing for his season and is over 1,200 all-purpose yards for his senior year. And also the Tigers got back to forcing turnovers last week. They took it away from Bixby 5 times despite the loss. That's been one of the hallmarks of this Tiger defense all season long. The Red Hawks on the other side, they've also underachieved a little bit as far as their standards are concerned. They finished in the 4th spot in their district and are 4-3 in district play this season. This is a big senior class for Norman. About 30 kids in this senior class, and they have been a vital class for Rocky Martin's program, and they are going to want to send their program out on a high note as they travel up the turnpike to take on the Red Hawks this evening. The Tigers and the Red Hawks from Union Tuttle Stadium on KREFSports.TV.
Norman North snapped a 4-game losing streak by winning the regular season finale over Edmond Santa Fe, and in doing so, extended their season for at least one more week. The objective this week against Mustang is going to be score. That's simple. The Mustang Broncos have scored 40 or more points in 7 of their 10 regular season games, including 4 games in which they scored 50 or more. So it'll be up to the offense led by sophomore quarterback Nash Henry, who himself had a bounce-back game against Edmond Santa Fe, to conduct things and to get the ball to whichever playmaker the play is designed for. He's got an array of weapons to work with. Running back Byron Mason turned in an impressive regular season, along with wide receivers Mason James, Aiden Williams, and Vlad Afanasiev. And then, can the defense get enough stops? Really, can either team's defense get enough stops to push them ahead? That ultimately will decide the game, but expect a ton of points in this one when Norman North visits Mustang.
Deer Creek entering 3-7 overall, 3-4 in district play, finishing 4th in 6A-I Division 1. Meanwhile, UConn entering at 5-5 overall and 3-4 in district play, finishing 6th in 6A-I Division 2. On the Antler side of things, keep your eye on sophomore quarterback Dax Chansey, coming off a monster week last week against Mustang, where he was 23 of 32 passing for 372 yards and 3 touchdowns. He'll look to lead the Deer Creek offense on home turf. On the Miller side, they run a ground game heavy attack. They can wear defenses down. And 3 players to watch on that side of the ball. Junior quarterback Wyatt Jones has 8 rushing touchdowns on the season. Senior running back Destry Lujan had 7 touchdowns on the season. And sophomore wide receiver Prince Shelburne also has 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. UConn will lean on that versatility in the backfield for the game. Look for their playmakers to try to shake up the Deer Creek defense. Deer Creek has home field advantage, but UConn hopes their balanced attack and momentum will carry them into the second round. Expect big plays, some surprises, and plenty of energy.
If Southmore wants to make it to round 2 of the playoffs, they're going to have to go through a Ponca City team that has put up more points than any other since the turn of the century. 5 times this year, they put up 53 or more points on their opponents, and they were led by the duo of Garrett Parr and Derek Ewing. Both of those receivers had 10 touchdowns on the year or more, and it's the first time anybody has done it since 2011 for the Wildcats. They've made the playoffs the last 6 years, and in contrast to Southmore, who's only made it the last 2 now. This is their first year under head coach Brett Jones, and their offense has come a long way. They're averaging over 30 points a game, and second-year quarterback Taven Hayes has been commanding it with a certain coolness we haven't seen yet from him in his career at Southmore. On the defensive side, Naquan Carter anchors a unit that can get the football back and have forced a lot of turnovers this season. Their turnover differential, one of the best in 6A-II, and they're going to lean on that if they want to come away with this one with a big win and advance to the next round.
The road to the Gold Ball starts today in Class 6A-II. The Piedmont Wildcats and the Bartlesville Bruins will be taking center stage here on KREF Sports.TV as the Wildcats will host the Bruins, making their way down from the northeast portion of the state. The Wildcats last week, first place in the district, fell to Putnam City, dropping them all the way to 4th, which forced the Wildcats to play this game here tonight. And for the Wildcats, it was penalties and turnovers that cost them the game a week ago. So we'll see if they're able to right the ship and get back to their winning ways offensively. Defensively, they did enough to win the game last week, only allowing 13 points. He technically gave up 20, but because of the fumble, gave great field position to the Pirates inside the 10-yard line. The Wildcats just could not get the stop. They fell 20-13. They're going to be playing against a very talented sophomore quarterback for the Bruins in Kent. He has over 2,600 yards through the air, and he's been backed up by his running backs on the ground with over 1,000 yards total rushing for the team. So a very well balanced offensive attack. The Wildcats, though, defensively have done a really good job against the pass this year. Really had one game where they struggled, or I should say 2 games that they struggled against Norman and against Choctaw, but really shored things up the back half of the season. For the Wildcats, they're going to have to force some turnovers. Last week was their first game of the season where they did not force a turnover defensively, and that one turnover was the difference in the game last week. Should be a fun one here tonight, right here on KREFSports.TV.
All right, good stuff, and looking forward to a litany of games on our KREFSports.TV network tonight to kick off the 2025 postseason. That'll do it for us on the Metro Ford of OKC pregame show. That's Connor Pasby. I'm Grayson Singleton. We will get you out to your game coming up next after this break. Enjoy the first round of the playoffs, and we'll see you next week.
Metro Ford of OKC.
Hey, Oklahoma. Dusty Dvorak here at Metro Ford of OKC. When it comes to power, strength, and reliability on the line or on the road, these custom-built Fords don't flinch.
Who really loves you, Oklahoma? Drive home in a new 2025 F-150 for 5.9% APR for 84 months.
Built tough and loaded with torque. That's a win in any playbook.
With insurance premiums on the rise, business owners and homeowners are looking for relief. Insurica is one of America's largest insurance brokers, and Insurica is here to help. Insurica's exclusive process, RM4U, partners with businesses and homeowners to reduce the total cost of risk. The goal is to put more of your insurance dollars back into your pocket. Learn more about our process at insurica.com. Insurica, specializing in you.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
After a car crash, life can be hard. You're hurt, stressed, and then, when you need help the most, the insurance company doesn't care.
They drag their feet, question your injuries, and make things difficult. They put profits over people.
At McIntyre Law, we level the playing field. We take on the billion-dollar insurance companies so you can focus on what matters, getting your life back. Call us at 405-777-7000. You deserve better.